there would be a lot to be done to understand the best way for us out of the problem.
You mean you couldn't just nationalize the banks or?
Well, let's be clear, we're not nationalizing Fokol. Let's just be very clear, right?
Why? It's such a good strategy.
Simple. I'll tell you why you don't nationalize.
No, seriously, answer me like you would for people who think that that's a great idea.
You see, government is not a meritocratic institution. If it was, the Department of Home Affairs would have awards every year for the best performing clerk. They don't have them because they don't measure the performance of clerks at Home Affairs. The structure of government is not built for meritocracy. It's not built for remuneration based on performance. So the reason you don't take institutions that need to perform and give them to the government is because you're going to flog them with a management system that doesn't require of them to perform. This is why the minute you give anything to the state, they mismanage it. It's not because they wake up this morning going, how can I mismanage this thing? It's because there is no incentive built into the system to perform. Now, in the private markets, there is an incentive. It's called survival. You don't perform, you die. That's the way it works, right? And there is a limitation to how much capital you can raise and constantly underperform. Sooner or later, they're going to change the executive or the board, or the shareholders are going to shut you down. So there is a real existential threat to non-performance. So the reason you don't nationalize institutions that need to perform is because the way our government is built is not for it to be built on performance. There are those who will say, yes, but in China, all right, let's go down this route. In China, they have, ports run by the government and mega cities, and they're doing exceptionally well. And look at their growth rate. Yes, that's true. Have you read any of the Communist Party manifestos? Have you watched any of the conferences that they publish online?
Also, have you noticed that if a minister or a person who's put in charge of the port, for example, doesn't perform, he just disappears?
Yes. But in addition to this,
I mean, there's personal accountability at the most
at the
extreme
highest level. Yes. But in addition to this,
kill yourself.
One of the things people don't know is that the CCP has a meritocratic institution of running promotion. It's not like the ANC. I want to be clear on this, and I say this with all the love and respect for our ruling party. They don't get voted in because they went to a conference and were able to convince other people to vote them in. In addition to that, there is an actual system of monitoring your performance.
What you just described is a popularity contest.
Yes, but they have a system where they go, this is a scorecard. Gareth, we gave you to run this port. How many jobs did you create? Were you profitable? How much economic value did you create in that region? And they will compare Gareth to Vusi and Mark and everybody else. And they'll go, in addition to him being popular, he's also the best candidate. This is why a friend of mine very popularly once said, if Barack Obama grew up in China, he wouldn't have been president, because he didn't go through the system and hierarchy of performing at different levels to get to the place where Xi Jinping can perform. So you can't use China because they're an outlier. They have very clearly built performance into the system of government. That's why today you drive a Haval and you use a Huawei and all the rest of these things. And they'll go, yes, those are all companies funded by the Chinese government. Yes, that understands capital markets and funding and profitability. And they hired the best people for the jobs. They didn't take their friends and say, well, you can have that tender to go do the watering thing. Oh, no, there's no water. People are striking now. Damn it. But we gave the tender to, yes.
Yeah, so where the Chinese government pay lip service to communism.
Yes.
And perform meritocratic. A
meritocratic system of government, yes.
Our government
pays lip service.
Very badly and communistically, but they give lip service to merit.
I mean,
yeah, right. So it's perverse.